Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Saturday, August 3rd, 2024. So, did you do the crossword?
I did.
And what did you think?
I thought it was almost impossible for me to solve.
Almost impossible, but it's a Saturday, so we expect Saturdays to be almost impossible.
Yep, well, it certainly was for me.
Would you, 17 across, request for details, care to elaborate?
I just found it really, really difficult. There were some things in there. It's like you had to know a foreign language, or you had to be, you had to know authors, or you had to know basketball teams. And I'm like, I don't know any of these.
You don't know basketball teams?
Well, not very well.
Oh, okay.
Not pro basketball teams much at all. But anyway, and you had to know like French derivatives and Latin and baseball slang and all kinds of things. So this was a real challenge for me.
Shoot. But no particular area, just sort of like all over?
Well, it was all over. And then, eventually I got it all but the upper left corner.
Ah.
Because it had the Latin and it had the WNBA team and it had the opera. It had some actor or actress name.
Drew?
Sure, it was a quote from Shakespeare. Just a lot of stuff that was a little beyond me. So, but what I did was I looked up the basketball team. 21 across. Minnesota WNBA team was the Lynx.
Yes.
And once I had the Lynx, then I got everything. It's just so weird, but it was like, oh, okay, well that must be that, and that must be that. And,
right.
So
It's often it's just a difference of one word. Did you know 18 down?
I did have care to elaborate. I did have that.
Okay.
But everything else, no, I didn't. But so with that, the care and the links, I was able to get everything else.
Whew. Okay. Did you have 18 down, that being it contains nearly 10,000 sections, tax code?
No.
Oh, okay.
I thought barcode, UPC code, zip code. I was thinking of every kind of code, but I didn't think about tax code.
See, I thought about tax, which gave me the X, which meant it had to be links, because what else could it be?
Well, it could be lots of things. Manx. It could be a Manx.
It could be a Manx, I guess. For 4 down, the ambition should be made of blank stuff, Julius Caesar. I had it ending with NER, and at first I thought it was going to be greener. Ambition should be made of greener stuff, but sterner stuff sounded better.
Right.
I studied Julius Caesar when I was in grade 12. And
when I was a sophomore, we did Julius Caesar.
Really?
I had to memorize big parts of it. Yes.
Was this one of the lines?
I do not recall this line. No.
Okay. The one next to it was cute. Drew using many lines. Carey.
Drew Carey. Yes.
That was.
I could only think of Drew Barrymore, which of course didn't fit. But then Drew Carey. Yes.
One across. Election present since the 40s, and that was PACS, P-A-C-S.
Yes. I thought that was interesting. I thought those were a more recent phenomena.
Yeah, I was quite surprised by that too. And then we had one down, which was title hero of a Menotti opera. Oh no, let me try to think. That was 2 down.
2 down.
One down was deal, and the answer was pact.
Right.
So we had PACS versus pact.
Right, yes. I thought that was interesting.
And then speaking of 2 down, title hero of a Menotti opera, that was Amal.
Amal and the Night Visitors.
Yes. I remembered vaguely the name, but I didn't think that Amal, I thought there were some extra letters in there.
No.
Like maybe Amdal or something.
Right.
But, let's see, what else? 5 across, retrieval speed of a computer was access time.
Right.
That was sort of a weird answer.
It was. It took me a long time. The only thing I got in that corner for the longest time was 10 down. Part of a child's bedtime routine, perhaps, and that was story.
Oh, okay. You didn't get the buckwheat noodle being soba?
No. I put udon.
Oh, okay.
But then I had to take it out.
we had 8 down, puts on the books, enacts. And we just had enacts a few days ago, I think.
I guess. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
It was either enact or enacts.
I don't remember. I thought 27 down was an interesting clue. Sticks, figure, yokel.
Yes.
Someone who lives in the sticks. So I was trying to think it was something like a drummer, or then I thought, well, maybe a knitter. I was trying to think all the things with sticks. It was like living in the sticks. Yokel.
Right. Where I ended up was 31 across. So I was doing this last night, and for 23 down, I had Looney Tunes Menace familiarly, and I would thought about Sylvester and, let's see, it was Sylvester the cat, Tweety Bird, and Tweety Bird would always say, I taught it to a putty cat.
Dat.
Was it putty?
Putty tat.
Putty tat. So I put down tat, which meant that 31 across, the French resort town, was Saint Tropez.
Oh.
And I looked at that, I looked at the whole thing last night, and I didn't see any mistakes. And then I woke up in the morning, and I looked at tat, and I'm like, Looney Tunes Menace, and I'm like, what's Taz, the Tasmanian devil?
Right.
And so it became Saint Tropez, which sounded a lot more familiar.
Right.
And the one next to it, though, was unsolicited in a way, was on spec.
Right.
I didn't quite understand that, but...
Well, like, I know in the building trades, if you build a spec house, it's not built for any particular person.
Oh.
It's built as a spec house. So on spec would be, not anything that anyone asked you to build. You just built it and then tried to sell it to somebody who they thought would, best fit in it.
So does the spec stand for...
Specifications. It's like you don't have somebody come in and saying, oh, I want 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and I want a big living room and a small kitchen or whatever. You just build a house with a design that's just, a generic design, and you hope that somebody likes it.
Well, then shouldn't they call it no spec rather than on spec? Because it seems there are no specifications.
Well, I don't know. I guess they just call it on spec because it's spec.
Okay.
No, it's no, it's just.
It doesn't.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I wonder if it stands for inspection. Well, anyway.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
And maybe and I just know that term spec from teaching design and stuff. But maybe there's
some other interpretation.
Yeah. On spec.
Let's see. 29 down was first name on the Scream poster was Neve, Neve, or Nevi?
Neve Campbell. I think it's Nevi or Neve. I'm not sure how she pronounces it, but she's an actress. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I did not recognize that at all. Next to it, 30 down, Slew was SCAD.
Yeah.
They always talk about SCADs.
Right.
But not SCAD, singular.
Right, yeah.
And then we also had 52 down, agendas for short, SCEDs.
Yes, I had no idea what that was.
Spelled S.
I thought, oh, that's where my mistake is. I was trying to figure out what was going on, but it was not that. It was I had made a typo.
Right.
On little tat feet I had.
So that Jack Ryan's org in Hunt for Red October was TIA, right. I guess.
TIA, yeah.
TIA. But SCEDs with a K, that just seems wrong.
I don't know what that even refers to.
Schedules, I think. I think it's a schedule.
Oh, yeah, then.
I don't know.
I guess for short, they just made the CH a K.
They were trying to save time.
I guess, just like sesh.
Yeah, exactly, right. I thought one of the greatest was 33 down, clothing misnomer, more aptly replaced by 3-quart, 10-gallon.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
And then 44 across, the answer was vet. And I was thinking of vet. First, I was thinking of, when you vet somebody.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then I was thinking about a doctor. But they were thinking about vet as in XGI.
Right, veteran.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was sort of tricky.
Right.
And then 31 down, African Board headliner at London's Live Aid, 1985, was Sade. Sade.
Mm-hmm.
And but Freddie Mercury was there too, and he was from Africa, I think maybe Tanzania.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I don't know. I guess.
You sure he was there?
Yeah, well, Queen was there.
Oh.
Maybe I did say it was the headliner, and I guess he wasn't really. I guess the headliner was Queen, not him.
Uh-huh.
I thought 53 was quite interesting. 53 across. Last syllable of a word was the ultima.
Right. Yeah, I'd never heard of that.
And apparently the next to last syllable is called a penult.
Oh.
And I'm like, what's happening to the ends of these words?
Right. Huh. I did not know that.
Yeah, I thought that was...
I mean, I've heard ultima and I've heard penultima, but I've never heard it in reference to syllables in a word. But...
I've never heard of ultima. I've heard of ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, isn't that something that Toyota makes?
I think they do make a car called the ultima.
I wonder if they're going to make another one called the penult.
No, probably not.
That would sound just a little weird. I had way too much trouble with 47 across. Scott in Illinois, E.G. At first I had sen, as in senator. I decided there was a Senator Scott.
I put rep.
Well, that was my next guess. I put down rep. Turns out it was AFB, right. Air Force Base.
Scott Air Force Base, yeah.
And yeah, so that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, 60 across, shrug in square brackets. And listeners, when you see something in square brackets, it means they're looking for a sound or a gesture that relates to that. In this case, the answer was, I don't get it. Mm-hmm. But I'd forgot it, and I liked I'd forgot it, but
I don't think that would work.
It's not grammatically correct now that I say it out loud, but that's what I had. I'd forgot it. Yeah, it would have been I'd forgotten it. Mm-hmm. How embarrassing. Okay.
It's funny, 62 across. 1962 war epic loaded with A-listers with the, and I thought it was The Great Escape.
Oh.
I remember that movie, not when it came out, but, like as a rerun, I remember watching that and thinking that was such a great movie. And then there was The Bridge Over the River Kwai, and there was, there were a lot of World War II films that had a lot of,
A-listers?
big A-lister crews, but it was The Longest Day.
Right.
That was about Pearl Harbor, I believe.
Yeah, Greatest Escape would have just been Greatest Escape.
Well, no, just The Great Escape.
Oh, really?
The Greatest Escape. I had nothing down there, I was just trying to think, maybe it's The Great Escape, but I don't even know if that fits.
No, it doesn't. It still would have been Great Escape.
Oh, So, but The Longest Day.
Mm-hmm. This might have been the longest crossword. I don't know. Home run, informally, 40 across, was a dinger.
A dinger.
Were you familiar with that term?
I think I have heard that, but it didn't come to me when I read the clue.
That was a tough clue.
A four-bagger.
Right. I wanted to call it Homer, but...
Well, yeah, they call them that, too.
So...
Dinger.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I think that is probably it for this crossword. This was by Rich Norris, who apparently has contributed quite a lot to the New York Times in the past, but not recently. This is his second this year, so he seemed to be making a comeback of sorts. Wow. Mm-hmm. And let's see, it is Saturday, which means it's time for JAMCOTWA. The Gene and Mike Crossword of the Week Award, where every week we go back through the crosswords of the week and identify what we deem to be the very best. And this week, we were stuck.
We were.
There were such good crosswords, we could not choose between Wednesday and Thursday, so we took Thursday and Wednesday and Thursday. So it is a tie.
Yep.
And you want to talk about Wednesday?
Okay. Wednesday was Under the Sea. Under the Sea.
Ooh, just like I'm there. Yeah.
Yep. That was the revealer, and the reason it was the revealer was because there were 4 themed clues that all started with C, but the actual answer to their clue was everything that was under the sea. So, for example, 25 down, rip off. The answer they had to put in the puzzle was cover charge. But if you took the C off and just what was under the C, rip off was overcharge. So anyway, that was the puzzle for Wednesday. It also had a lot of great clues for many of the other answers as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and who was it by? Who was it by?
It was by Jackson Matz and Ben Matz.
Oh, right.
The Matzes.
One of them's at university, one of them is still in high school.
Great job.
Yes, indeed. I agree. And for Thursday, we had a crossword in which the revealer sort of explains what's going on. Many a gym goer's goal, or what the starred clues in this puzzle must have for their answers to make sense. And the answer was ripped abs.
Right.
And in many cases, if you look at the clue, the answer did not seem to jive at all with the clue. So, for instance, 17 across, they're found next to cabarets, and the answer was exponents, and that doesn't make any sense. But if you rip out the ab from cabarets, you get the clue, they're found next to carrots, carets, and the answer is exponents.
That's right.
Likewise, 24 across, viable investment plans. The answer was Ponzi schemes. And that's not really a viable investment plan. But if you rip out the ab, you get vile investment plans. And that nicely summarizes what a Ponzi scheme is.
That's right.
So the rest were of that sort. Really, really clever. Mm-hmm. And this was by Rajeswari Rajamani. And so Rajeswari or any of the Matz brothers, if you feel so inclined, drop us a line, crosswordpodcast at iCloud.com, and we will have your signed JAMCOTWA certificate, nicely framed, as well as some lovely Wisconsin swag winging its way towards you in no time.
You bet.
And one last thing before we wrap it up, we have listener mail.
Ooh.
And this is from Trey. And he writes, the subject is Solinus and Salina. Hi, Gene and Mike. Referring to Friday's puzzle and the clue for 47 across, John Steinbeck's hometown, you wondered if Steinbeck was from Kansas. That's Salina, no S. Oh, and no famous authors are from there. Darn.
I'm so surprised. No.
Hey, come on. Salinas with an S is in California, and unlike its Kansas counterpart, is pronounced with a short I. Oops. Salinas. Oh, I should have read this ahead of time. Just thought I'd share this bit of info about my favorite California writer, Trey.
Oh, very good.
And he adds, P.S. I heard your call a little while back for NYT crossword constructors to do an interview. While I have a large puzzle and several minis under my belt, they were published quite a while ago. So I'm always down to talk construction. I'll be sure to let you know when another one of mine makes the cut.
All right.
Ooh, well, Trey, we'll have our people call your people. And that's, in this case, our people is us. And we will set this up.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think so. So we'll have to work out the logistics and all. But all right. Well, that is it for today then. So a reminder that we love feedback, and you can do just what Trey did. Drop us a line, crosswordpodcast at iCloud.com. Otherwise, that's it for today. Sunday's crossword's out. We're going to tackle it. We're hoping it's going to be easier than Saturdays and Fridays.
Oh, yes.
And we'll find out about that, and we'll let you know about that tomorrow.
Bye-bye.